So, Rod, you have a big Witchblade event coming up, Firstborn, right?
I do. This summer, we're doing 3-issue crossover, plus 3 tie-in issues of Witchblade. And the event is called Firstborn. It's being painted by a terrific Serbian or Croatian artist, because they keep
they used
calling,
to fight those countries.
They keep calling him the Croatian sensation. I'm thinking that that's going to get on his nerves after a while.
That's insulting.
A guy named Stefan Sejic, who is just phenomenal, and it's going to be about Sarah Pazzini's baby being born.
Wow.
So hence the title Firstborn. We thought maybe we should actually have a baby born at some point during
Now, can you explain the difference between a tie-in and a crossover?
Yeah, about 5 cents. $5, $3. The tie-in issues of Witchblade sort of augment the story. They bring a little bit more depth to the story. But if you don't want to read them, you don't have to. You can just read the 3 issues of the crossover. We, by all means, hope you read all of it. But we're not going to twist anybody's arm and say you have to read all 37 parts of it.
37, wow.
Yeah.
If you want to know more about where babies come from and babies and stuff like that, that's where you're the tie-in.
Okay.
Cool. We probably sell a lot more of those.
Totally. Well, Witchblade is pretty close to being about where babies come from.
Nah,
If you read the book.
I
don't know how the Croatian sensation is going to find a new way to cover up her nipples.
I actually didn't read the book before they offered it to me. They said, "Do you want to write this?" And I went, "Okay." And then I read it and went, "Oh, geez, we're going to get rid of this stuff." So, you know, the TNA quotient is way down since I took over.
That's a tough move. That's a tough move.
She wears more of the classic witch's cloak with the pointy head.
Yeah. Well, we figured we'd actually get people showing up for the story rather than just the TNA.
There we go.
That's a good choice.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to talk about the latest issue of Countdown number 49. So, we are getting very close to the end here, folks.
Speaking of going backwards through time.
Yeah. Now, we had a question for you, actually, because Ion is going to tie into this, right?
So they tell me.
So they tell
Kyle
you?
Raynor.
Do you know, or are you just not allowed to say?
Is
that the same thing?
Yes. My answer is yes.
Well, there's a picture of him in here, and they're like, these 3 people we have to really investigate, and one of them is Kyle Raynor. So
yes.
That's this is getting weird.
I know who signs my checks. Yes. Yeah, Kyle's going to play into it a little bit further down the road, and there will be other Kyle-centric things, one of which I'm working on that'll be out September, October. But that's all I'm supposed to say at the moment. But Countdown is, going to be one of those books where, it spins threads out everywhere. It's, it's the mirror effect of 52.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Because I was like, all right, this is going to be kind of cool. It's a weekly book. I did the whole 52 thing, and then
begrudgingly.
And then it was like, yeah, because you guys made me. And then I was like, all right, so I counted up to 52, and now I got to fucking count back down to 1 again. I mean, that's
0.
Like,
you have to count down to 0.
0, yeah.
You hate
Then they go into negatives.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I bowed into it once, and now this is just ridiculous.
Well,
I mean,
spit the hook out, son. They've got that.
Well, I haven't bought or read any of them. I'm just complaining about it.
Well, then the difference between you and most comic fans is they just complain about it and they still buy it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, as a person who's in the biz, when they were like talking about, I'm saying, as when they pitched this idea, were you like, this is kind of ridiculous, or you were like, oh, this was a good idea, or like?
Yeah, most of the pros sat around and frankly went, well, this is fucking insane, because they'll never get them out on time. I know, how much work goes into getting a monthly book out on time or a week or too late, in some cases. To get a book out every week without fail is really hard. And I was shocked and impressed that DC did it the first time around, and I think they fine-tuned the machine again, and I really think they'll get all of these out on time. It's weekly storytelling, and it fills a need for that crowd that goes into the store every Wednesday, like they're showing up for a heroin fix.
Yeah.
There are guys in there.
We actually put it in a little spoon.
There are guys who are going to show up every week for this just because they got to see the next chapter.
Yeah.
Whether you like that style of storytelling or not, whether you like all the different threads that run through these issues or not, it's a choice that's there, and it's a choice that's going to be fairly important in the direction of the DC universe.
What's going to happen when they release 365?
Gunshots will ring out at 1700 Broadway where DC is, because that's nuts.
Slaves will be writing the issues.
Cool.
Another thing in this, Jimmy Olsen gets attacked by Killer Croc and turns into some sort of plastic man, which, what's the deal with that?
It's better than Turtle Boy, you know, which is one of Jimmy's old personas. And
That's later,
that goes
right?
back to the great tradition of...
Did he really have a
you know,
persona, Turtle Boy?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't know about Turtle Boy?
No.
You're the face of Dr. Doom and you didn't know about Turtle Boy?
I didn't do my research.
Man.
Was it just a turtle costume? I don't know how much time you guys want to waste, but that to me is the most interesting thing. It's,
You know, big shell and bug eyes. And,
he
you know,
chose to
just-
have the powers
just-
of a turtle.
I don't know, would anybody really
I don't
choose
know.
that? Or
Would somebody just turn him into a turtle?
was
Was this a joke?
What
This
don't you
is,
know?
I've ran out of information.
I swear to you, Turtle Boy.
Okay.
He got bitten by a radioactive turtle or something like that.
What has been your favorite project?
Ooh, that's
Or,
a good
this
question.
could be for anybody. Home improvement, crafts, I don't know. But mainly I think it's for him.
I like working on this show.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I really like
Right.
scrapbooking because I think that the favorite thing that I've ever done is the Samurai Heaven and Earth series that I'm still doing actually with Luke Ross for Dark Horse. It's creator owned, so nobody can tell us nothing. The book is exactly what we want it to be, and it's not real often in this business that you can say that, because most of the time you're playing with somebody else's toys. You know, even coming in and creating a new Green Lantern, you're still playing in somebody else's playground with somebody else's toys. When you do something that's creator owned, you can all the chains are off. You can do what you want in the way that you want it, and Dark Horse has been great in terms of letting us do it. So that's by far the favorite thing I've ever done.
Cool.
When you created the Kyle Raynor, did they step in with like certain restrictions you had to have on him when you were just creating the whole character, or?
No, creating the new character was the most freeing part of the whole thing. They gave me kind of a beat sheet of what they wanted in terms of what was going to happen to Hal, but then, I mean, literally the last line of it was, and then create a new Green Lantern.
Oh, that's
And if there were any restrictions or strictures, I didn't know about them. I think I asked, could it be a woman? And they said no.
we don't go in for that shit.
We'd prefer a male lead, and that was it.
I
That was
couldn't
the
imagine
only-
a woman
that was
running
the
around
only-
with a ring.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're not wearing one, my friend.
No, he's right. He's right. He's right.
But other than that, I mean, there were no restrictions, and they just let us run with it.
That's fantastic. And now everyone blames you though for screwing up Hal Jordan.
Well, it's my name in the credits. So,
Yeah, that's kind of shitty, right?
you suffer the slings and arrows.
You tried to prod him. No.
Yeah, no, well, I don't know. I would be mad if, like, my company was like, do it this way, and I was like, fine, and everyone was like, fuck you, Ron Mars.
Well, really, on the message
They'd be
boards,
like, fuck you, Ron Mars.
People say that to me all the time. Sorry, I guess I should tell
better
you.
you than me, I guess.
That's true, but I like a lot.
What it really comes down to is, you hear a lot of, hey, fuck you, Ron Mars, on the message boards. But at the conventions, what you hear is, hey, could you sign my book?
Sign my book, Ron Mars.
Next week, we are back with Jimmy Palmiotti as our guest. Very exciting.